Federal Communications Commission, IM University Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from King's House number 1. Rule number 1, Dr. Eugene Scott is dead. Stay tuned for the news live from King's House number 2. Bulgarian Secret Service. Do you see this hammer of Thor? What did you say the name of that cigar was that you just bought? Because I absolutely, as a First Assemblies of God teacher and theologian, received my degree, my master's degree at Stanford University. For you to put up the Twin Towers that way and say you're going to send an ICBM mushroom cloud to Stanford University in my name, Dr. Eugene Scott. My master's degree is in agrarian science. Do you know what agrarian science is, girls age 5? Do you know why we do not allow nor permit anyone under the age of 21 in King's House number 1, King's House number 2, and as far as the Voices of Faith answering the telephone, that ended with my decease when they announced and signed the death certificate for Dr. Eugene Scott as John Doe number 1, body bag number 1, because the United States Secret Service does not believe in resurrection. I didn't either, because I started my YouTube account as University Television Network, beaming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I like that Stephen Hawking thing, because I used to be an agnostic. You know what used to be means? In hillbilly, this is language that I believe President William Jefferson Blythe Clinton could understand. Do you know what an ignorant hillbilly is? If you watch the Beverly Hillbillies and the First Color episode broadcast in 1965, Operation Jesse Garin Presley, that includes you too, Bulgarian Secret Service. Right now as I speak, as a substitute teacher to a college student whose name is Hillary Rodham. She's a Baptist. So what? She's praying today that she will meet the man that will be her key to eternal destiny as First Lady of Arkansas. I said, are you really going to think that low? Arkansas is going to cease to exist in T-minus 1 second in the next 72 hours. Right to the top of the head of President John F. Kennedy. If that's your husband, grab your throat, because Baptists are not Catholics. Now that's genius, isn't it? Can you phonetically pronounce the alphabet? Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot. Stop right there. What did you say? Foxtrot. What are you doing? I'm showing you my Twin Towers, which is also called what in King's House number 1? King's House number 1. You want that finger cut off? What did you say about Dr. Eugene Scott, little boy, age 5? My name is Potentate Barack H. Obama, and that's the Confederate flag. I don't want my mama to know, because they hate the South. They want to burn Georgia right on the top of the skull of President James R. Carter Jr. because he's a Baptist. And we stand for Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Then do it that way. You see that fist of fury? That's what we need to see, a black glove. Don't salute the flag of the 50 stars that will fall 22 November 1963. They'll fall on 11 September 2001. Why are the stars falling? Because they have names. General Douglas A. MacArthur. Do you have his cigar, Pastor Melissa Scott? PMS. I'm going to start saying my pastor always has PMS. I'm going to call her PMS, Pastor Melissa Scott, King's House number 1. Is she in the court, number 1 district court of Heber Springs? That's why President John F. Kennedy is dead, and now Dr. Eugene Scott. She don't know what University Network is. Elvis, could I get first daughter, Chelsea Clinton? Are you criminally insane? What question do you need to ask me? Elvis, I need to ask, do you take any drugs? I take vitamin C. Now drop dead, first daughter, Chelsea Clinton. Let's go, Secret Service. President Nixon. General Douglas A. MacArthur. That's what I called it. King's House number 1. That's what I thought she said. What else did she say? King's House number 1, voices of doubt and unbelief. Did I hear you say you're an atheist? Ron Reagan Jr.? I think I'll challenge your intelligence. King's House number 1, get on the telephone and report by King's House number 1 and all the sequences after Pastor Melissa Scott raises up 2 horns of the Twin Towers on 11 September 2001. Otherwise, I'm going to bite the dust as Dr. Eugene Scott right here on Channel 30. Have to sell Channel 30, UHF analog. You want to put up University Network, stream it live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Did Pastor Melissa Scott say she was having PMS? She's having a double dose of PMS this week. Do not piss off the Pope. Do not piss off Pastor Melissa Scott. Do not piss off First Lady Hillary Rodham. Do not piss off J. Edgar Hoover. Have we got this straight so far that this is the hammer of Thor that Ariana Grande threw through the glass? You know why? Because that's the Crystal Cathedral of the Reverend Robert Schuller. And it will always return as hydrogen bomb number 1, Garden Grove. If I was anywhere in California, I'd be evacuating real quick, except for one congregation. King's House number 1, stay right there till we get to King's House number 2, because you didn't create University Network, none of you. PTL Television Network Incorporated, Pastor Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, you'll be broadcasting right through the tribulation in all 45 years of your incarceration, because everybody that knew anything about Billy Graham knew what a worthless piece of shit he is. I'll play it again. Who's my song later? Don't you miss Dr. Eugene Scott? I do. Who does the best imitation of Dr. Eugene Scott's wife? His one and only, laptop. He wants a laptop from who? Pastor who? Okay, that should get it done, Barbie. Go on green. You're the new pastor of King's House number 1 till we put Michael Jackson to rest in the womb of the tomb. He said Satan is the best friend that King's House number 1 ever had. Let me think about that. Barbie, the pole dancer, is a Scientologist. Let's have a powwow about this thing. Think for yourself, King's Houses, because all the King's Houses and all the King's men can't put Groucho Marx back together again. You got to believe in Resurrection. Change of habit coming through the door. As ordered by His Holiness Pope. Yes, ma'am?
I thought they told us that we was going to get stars.
Oh, we do.
Extra charge.
Well, that's what she said. No extra charge.
Well, they're all taking off the thing.
You need to call them. A Suddenlink. You took down the stars. Let me tell you something. You lied. That's why people are dying. Number one star is General Douglas A. MacArthur. Just shut the door. General Dwight David Eisenhower is tower number 1 as of March 28, 1969. General Dwight David Eisenhower, I promise you, so help me God, as General Douglas A. MacArthur and myself, you will live to see Vice President Richard Milhouse Nixon sworn into office for not less than 2 full 4-year terms as yourself, General Dwight David Eisenhower. For Winston Churchill and Her Majesty's Secret Service, get in the chow line at West Point Military Academy right now. Because before you lead an army, you got to be able to feed it, President Obama.
Oh, turn the air conditioner on.
Yes, ma'am. Air conditioner number 1 coming on. Going to get hot where some of these people are going, like Vietnam and Korea, now Russia, Armageddon being waged with China. Because the earth will be toast. Clear in channel 1. Here's the problem I have with Suddenlink of Heber Springs. They lied. We ordered stars, the encore, because my mother loves Westerns. My grandmother, Mabel Lee Frederick, before she married my grandfather, Ernest Lee Davis. What was the film that grandfather Ernest Lee Davis loved so much? Well, Joan Crawford, wasn't it?
He loved, I can't think of the name of Johnny Guitar.
Johnny Guitar. I kind of like an Elvis thing. Can you imagine doing a Western sing-along? Game theory, Ash's age finally solved. Polka Man. Hey, I'm getting some viewers from Lyron. Have you heard about the Joshua Dufarina conspiracy? I don't get into conspiracy theories because there's too many conspiracy facts. Tower 1, Tower 2, you're out of business with the Pentagon. Today is doomsday. You're either going to pay off the national debt with all of its accrued interest, ground zero, 22 November 1963, as president, Dwight David Eisenhower ordered, just leave the Pentagon, because in 15 minutes, Washington, D.C. will see the mushroom cloud, and that's coming straight from Moscow, Russia. Oh, Eli, the funny and awesome guy, do you like crack? Eli, the funny and awesome guy, what's your favorite kind? My favorite kind of crack is the crack of Dan Aykroyd, not the crack of John Belushi. You understand what the non-lethal dose of crack as Operation Dan Aykroyd is? It's on Saturday Night Live when the guy comes in the fix and you see the crack of his hinder parts. Jamaican, Scooby-Doo, bun, bad mind people. Kettle on water. Yeah, it's going to get hot. We start the steam room. Ever take a steam bath with it? Are you associated with Yakub? What is your opinion of Jesus Belushi? Oh, John Belushi? I like him very well. Now, I'm going to limit the answer to the questions because if you don't know it, Christina Grimmie is dead. And I hate these events. My stars are getting shot dead in Las Vegas, Nevada. And because the United States Central Intelligence Agency has ordered it, they're going to come right to Catholic Mass at St. Albert's Roman Catholic Church with His Holiness the Pope there and shoot them dead. Everybody. Because they're not Catholics, they're Baptists. Go figure. Do you play video games? No, I don't have time. I have to defend, preserve, and protect the office of the President of the United States of America while the Pentagon burns. Until someone knows the meaning of these words, ground zero means begin by grounding United States Marine Chopper 1. The name of my cigar at the current moment is General Dwight David Eisenhower. And what does Dr. Eugene Scott say? That's not the right answer. Get on the telephone. The name of my cigar is General Omar Bradley. Now you've crossed the line. Emma, get me my gun. What did you say the name of my cigar is? Dr. Eugene Scott. That's what I thought you said. to see them old Liberty Baptist stinking feet of old Jerry Falwell right there in the sun's head. It's hot in here. Oh, you Baptists, go and get real hot where you're going, because you've been sentenced by His Holiness the Pope of the Holy See for Dallas, Texas, November 22nd, 1963. And my mom is over there, and she's standing there while President John F. Kennedy walks up, and she's holding my brother David William Hutchins, who's going to the top deck of the USS Midway for some orange juice, as Operation O.J. Simpson, because that intelligence has to be put in, because all of his shipmates are going to die down there in the engine room. He's machinist mate, United States Navy, War Department, and that's horrifying to understand that President of Islamabad, Pakistan, can just sink the USS Arizona and sink the USS Midway with my brother on it. Because you don't have to care about the United States Navy. Dr. Eugene Scott has been taken over by bad mind people. Well, it depends on how you look at it. The greatest thing that Dr. Eugene Scott ever ordered from me is my Barbie collection. I got 1 billion Barbies around the world. And that's the way I look at things. You need an escort for the night. I just call the Washington, D.C. Madam Deborah Jean Palfrey. Her number is 666, and she's being prosecuted for racketeering and fraud and going to be sentenced to 5 years in the penitentiary and 45 years for being married to Pastor Jim Baker as one of my prostitutes. What was her name out there in North Carolina? Jessica Hahn. Thank you, Sam Kinnison. She owes me a lot of money, Jessica Hahn. She started out traveling with me as a secretary for the Reverend John Wesley Fletcher. A lot of you people don't know who that is. Just imagine them old Reverend John Wesley Fletcher saying, "It's getting hot in here. Yeah, turn on some air conditioning. We may have to have a telephone live as the earth blows up when U.S. Columbia goes up and U.S. Challenger goes up." They're saying, why are these things happening? Probably something to do with the fact that you're not Israel and you didn't defend the Pentagon. Do you like pornography? Define pornography. There is no such, in my dictionary, pornography is a state of mind. I call it the state of New Jersey. Have you ever been to New Jersey? That's the most perverted, obstinate filth, especially Scranton. Scranton, Pennsylvania. You might as well call it Upper New Jersey and Lower New Jersey, because it's all mafia country down there, all the way to New York. What do you beat your meat to? Let me think about this. Right now, this is going to be fired. Watch what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, First Lady Melania Trump. I knew that would happen.